Welcome back or welcome to another video. Um so I really didn't think I needed to make a video like this. However, I realize now that a lot of you guys, especially the ones that are rushing, even though me and Marco constantly say don't rush, a lot of you guys are having trouble understanding the fact that the market is fractal. Okay? All right, so um 1 second. I'll just quickly write it down. Okay, so what does it mean, or what does the concept or the phrase "the market is fractal" truly mean? Okay, do you guys understand it, or are you guys saying you understand it? Because at the end of the day, if you understand the concept or the fact that the market is fractal, you will understand and won't be asking questions such as what time frames am I entering the market? What time frames should I be looking at? Um, what time frames do you trade? What else? Why is it sometimes you're taking trades on the 1 hour time frames? Sometimes you're taking on the five. Sometimes you're taking on the one. Sometimes you're taking on the 15. Why is that? Right? All those questions that people be asking won't be asked, right? So, um, this video is just, I think I'm just gonna talk. I'm not sure if I'll go over charts. Maybe I will, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. So, the when I say that the market is fractal, okay, it means that it doesn't matter what time frame I'm on, okay? Because at the end of the day, the market, if it does something on the hourly time frame, it'll do it on the 15, it'll do it on the 5, it'll do it on the 1, it'll do it on the daily time frame, right? It does not matter what time frame, right? If you want to take a trade on the hourly time frame, if you want to take it on the daily, you can do so, right? The whole concept is basically how the market moves. Okay? Now, if you see a clean setup on the hourly time frame and there's a clean liquidity block on the 1 hour time frame and buyers were trapped or sellers were trapped, okay? And it comes and taps into a 1 hour liquidity block, I will take the trades, right? At the end of the day, I sit on, let's say I start off with the daily time frame, right? Just to see my bias. I do not take any trades off the daily time frame as my stop loss would be too big, right? And obviously, I want to have more of a smaller stop so I can catch, my 1 2 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, right? Just to take the trade towards my intraday targets, so I can take some partials and then hold the rest towards my targets. Regardless, the fact of the matter is sometimes I will take trades on the hourly time frame. It just depends what time frame looks the cleanest. If I'm on the hourly and I clearly see that the market has trapped buyers or sellers and there's a clean liquidity block that the market just tapped into, I will take the trade on the 1 hour time frame. It doesn't matter, okay? I can as long as my RR makes sense. So if my target or my intraday target at least gives me like a 1 to 3, I will gladly take the trade, right? And take some partials at the 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 or whatever, right? At my intraday target, and then hold the rest. If let's say my stop loss is too big, okay, then I will refine on the 15-minute time frame, or I will go to the 5-minute time frame, right? Or I'll look for a confirmation based entry, okay? If I don't want to take it straight from the extreme liquidity block to the left, I can look for a confirmation entry. Entries, that part will be well, I'll go over that in a separate video. I don't want to go over entries in this video. This video is just understanding that the market will do everything on every time frame. Okay, so whatever happens on the hourly will happen on the 5. Okay, it's just different time frames, like meaning um yeah, whatever happens on the hourly will happen on the 5, but at its own pace. Okay, so on the hourly time frames, sometimes you'll see buyers get trapped on, like, I don't know, in days. The 5 minute will happen a lot faster, right? The fact of the matter is, the concept is we need to look for buyers and sellers trap for us to take the trades. Okay, if there's liquidity to one side and we see buyers or sellers trapped, we can take the trade towards the opposing liquidity. Okay. Obviously, if you guys are having trouble with bias, that's a whole different story. That you can obviously, or if you're having trouble with bias, go watch the liquidity tracking videos that Marco does, and it will help you understand where liquidity lies, right? We trade with liquidity, so it'll help you understand where it lies and where to target and how to find your direction, okay? It helps you find that direction. So yeah, but as for entries, there is a guide on how we take the entries, okay? I will go over that in the entries video. As I said, this video is just understanding that I don't need to be on a specific time frame, okay? If I want to, if the 1 hour looks clean enough, I will take it on the one. Okay, if the 1 hour is too bunched up, there's no clear the market's not clear on the 1 hour time frame, then I won't take it on the 1 hour time frame, right? An example would be today's trade I took on US 30. Okay, so let me take this off right here, and let's look at US 30. Okay, this is the hourly time frame. As you can see right here, it says 1 hour. Okay, so what do I see on the hourly time frame? Yes, there's a bunch of lines. However, just look at the ones that are important, okay? What happened here? Took out the low, induced the sellers, okay? Induced the sellers, the market comes here, respects it, builds liquidity there, okay? Builds that liquidity, comes back, takes out this low, induces more sellers, market comes back, respects the highs again, building more liquidity. And you got your, I don't know, like not even just support, smart money concepts, but you got your support resistance traders too, right? You got that, what, this is now a triple top, 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever. Quadruple top, huh. But regardless, if you just look at it in terms of, okay, sellers got induced. What are sellers doing? They're taking trades over here, keeping their stops above, right? Maybe they're keeping above the ones to the left. Let's say they want to enter again. Right? Same thing all the time. Okay? So, me understanding that the market needs to go or come for this liquidity, it doesn't need to. Obviously, that's just my direction at the current moment, as there's liquidity here, and the market should trap sellers and grab that liquidity. Okay? All right, so on the 1 hour time frame, okay, I took this trade on the 1 hour time frame. I didn't need to go down to the 5 or the 15 or the 3 or the 1 or whatever, right? I don't need to go to those time frames. If I do, I'm looking for a confirmation based entry, right? So here I can see a clean liquidity block on the 1 hour time frame. Look at this. Okay, it's a clean liquidity block right here. Let me change the color to blue. Clean liquidity block on the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour also had a BOS to the upside, inducing buyers. Okay, buyers got trapped. Also, this is where buyers were originally induced from. So if you have trouble with that, look at the liquidity from the left video, or inducement from the left video. Sorry, the inducement from the left video. I talked about this. Okay. Regardless, the market comes, traps the buyers, and taps into the 1 hour liquidity block. What does that tell me? Well, I can take a trade on the 1 hour time frame because there's the liquidity block right here. The market came and tapped into it. Okay, so I have this marked out, and I will take the trade. Now, let's say the market decided to not tap into the 1 hour liquidity block, and it comes here and just traps the buyers, and then gives me a clean entry model on the lower time frames. I'll take the trade right towards the upside. However, this is an example of whatever happens on like one time frame will happen on the other, right? Now, not all the time you'll see the market comes all the way to the extreme 1 hour and taps into the liquidity block, okay? And those are times where I look for a confirmation based entry. This was just an example that the market decided to tap into the 1 hour liquidity block. So I took it from the 1 hour liquidity block. Okay, it's as simple as that. I'm on, like, the time frames that I look at are the daily, the weekly, just for, let's say, weekly highs and lows. The daily, my direction, or daily higher time frame bias or whatever. The 4 hour, still higher time frame bias. 1 hour, more intraday. We'll say 30-minute, 15-minute. I'm not really on the 30-minute. However, I do have it favorited, but I'm rarely on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, I look at the 4 hour, I look at the 1 hour, I look at the 15, I look at the 5, I look at the 1 minute time frame. Okay, I don't necessarily take trades on the 1 minute time frame all the time. I only take, remember this, okay? I only take trades on a specific time frame if the other time frame is not that clear. Okay, if I'm on the 1 hour time frame and the liquidity block is not that clear, okay, I can see this is a clear liquidity block on the 1 hour time frame. If it's not clear to me on the 1 hour time frame, or I can't see where the market's going, or I just can't understand what the market's doing, I will go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, and I can see, look at the 15-minute time frame, respects this low to the left over here. Okay, the market hasn't moved to the upside. BOS to the upside, inducing buyers, comes down. Okay, takes out the low. And now it's just one 15-minute candle. It's not enough price action for me, so I need to see what the market does. Go to the 5. I can clearly see on the 5, or even the 5, it's not that clear, right? It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, like a couple of candles. Can't really properly see it. So then I'll go to the 1 and look at what the market does. Okay, BOS to the upside. I want to see the low go again, right? And it does that. So I look at whatever time frame is cleanest to me. Okay, I was sitting on the 1 hour time frame. I seen this clean liquidity block. I had it marked out, and then I went down to the 15-minute, and I seen what the market was doing. Okay, the market had this clean move sweeping that liquidity. However, it comes all the way here, and then on the 5, I can see it takes out this high over here on the 5. Okay, it also takes out this one over here. What does that do? Indicates BOS to the upside. Don't want to be buying. Okay, I want to wait until all the liquidity from the downside is gone before I can take a buy. Okay, so what happens? The market comes for that low. Okay, it comes into the 1 hour liquidity block, and that's the reason why I took it off the 1 hour time frame. See what I mean? So it's not about what time frame am I supposed to be taking trades off of. It's take the trades off of whatever is cleanest to you, whatever the clearest time frame is to you at that given time. That's what you should be taking trades off of. Okay, not always the 1 minute time frame. If it gives you an entry on the 1 hour time frame, you could take it, right? Now if you're the type of trader that looks for confirmation entries, then yes, you can go to your 1 minute time frame and look for an entry. Okay, I will be going over entry model and whatever, all that on the entries video. And yeah, so as long as the RR makes sense to me, I will gladly take it off 1 hour time frame. It does not matter to me. Okay, like this example over here, you can clearly see I took it off the 1 hour, and at my intraday target, which is this high over here, it still gives me a 3.5 RR, right? And that's the reason why I can take it. If it gives me anything above 3 RR, I'll take it. I'll take some partials over here and then hold the rest, the highs. Okay, that's how it goes. I'm not sitting on a specific time frame every single day. It depends on whatever time frame looks cleanest to me. Look, if you look at it on the 4 hour time frame, does this look clean to you on the 4 hour time frame? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, right? It's what looks cleanest to you. All right, so if you look on the 4 hour time frame, yes, you can clearly see this high go and get taken out. You can see this low get taken out. But look at this. The 4 hour close is right here. Can you take a trade just like that? No, you can't, right? You have to see what the market does. Okay, the market comes lower. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, this is not a liquidity block, right? You can't really see that's the liquidity block. So you go down to the 1 hour time frame and look at it carefully. Oh, damn, it's a 1 hour liquidity block. I can clearly take the trade. And why can I take it? Because buyers got trapped above the liquidity block. Okay? If buyers didn't get trapped here and there was no clear buildup, then I wouldn't be taking this trade from this 1 hour liquidity block. I would wait for a buildup to happen and then take the trade. Okay? And that's the fact of the matter. Okay? This video is literally just about that, about the fact that the market is fractal. All the time frames are quite the same. Okay, whatever happens on one time frame will happen on another, just at a different pace. All right. I hope this helps you understand that you don't need to stay on a specific time frame. You don't need to be taking trades off of one specific time frame. It's just whatever looks cleanest to you at that given moment. All right. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.